Hey, Get Fox here. So, we got some more footage on Madden 19, but there's another video I didn't do on Longshot and the info revealed there. So let's get rid of Longshot up front. It's going to be a long video. I react to a whole bunch of video on Madden 19 gameplay, but let's listen to Anto and Mike here, Mike Young, the creative director of EA now, who took over for Rex, talk about Longshot going forward.
What happened to Devin? What happened to Colt?
We wanted to start the story to line up with the 2018 NFL season, so it's a year later. Both guys didn't make it through their first training camp. You know, reality kind of hurts sometimes. But Devin's got one more shot. He's just signed on with the Cowboys as their third string, fourth string guy, and he's still trying to prove he actually belongs there. And then Colt, you know, he always needed Devin to even get a look, so he's on the outside looking in, trying to make ends meet.
I'm excited because last year it ended off with me not getting drafted. Obviously, it was different scenarios for everyone.
Yep.
Now this year, you said they're going to be in the preseason.
When you start with Devin, it's in preseason, it's in training camp. You're going to see some preseason games, you're going to see some practices, you're going to see some scrimmages. And then with Cole, I don't want to give away too much, but he's kind of behind the scenes staying in shape. So he's working out at the old high school, trying to get some reps, calling some teams. And, 4 times as many games, a lot more traditional Madden, and that's what the fans asked for.
All right, well, that's enough Longshot for now on the teasers. You can watch the whole video, link it in the description. And then there's this blog here about Madden 19 and Colt Cruz here coaching. This is kind of weird about Longshot because Colt Cruz was all Big 12, right? Devin Wade hadn't played since high school. He was all Big 12, and like he's the sidekick. I don't know. It's kind of a weird story, and I know fans said let's get some Madden video going in the background from Osiris Supreme here. This is kind of where we left off from our last video. You could just kind of get the 19 gameplay from EA Play. So I'm going to react to this gameplay, and I'm going to talk about Longshot, my thoughts as we go along, as Gronk is able to make guys miss and get into the end zone there. So Osiris got his name on the screen because, you know, other YouTubers stole it without giving him credit, and, you know, I don't blame him for watermarking it like that. So anyways, Longshot. Kind of weird with the Colt Cruz, Devin Wade type thing. You're on the Cowboys. I know some people are kind of angry that, you know, the whole first game was about choosing and going to a certain team, you know, and who you got drafted by, your favorite team, then having to go to your rival, and there's the decision you have to make near the end of the story based off like one decision. So Longshot's kind of like it thinks it's got more choices than it actually does. It's a lot of people are angry that you're getting forced into one little path there. And here's the thing with Longshot, like I think we wanted to hate it more than we did. So I think we hate the idea of Longshot. And I think one of the reasons Mike Young got promoted to creative director is that Longshot, God, I want to hit them so hard for wasting the resources, but it ended up actually being not too bad of like an actual story, as the gun monster doesn't get glitchy. Like, it ends up being like, I didn't regret my time spent doing Longshot, seeing the stories, as much as I thought I would. So, the quality product that they put out kind of speaks to how well he did it, but, man, it's just the whole philosophy of wasting Madden development time on Longshot that a lot of people hate, and it's something I gave him crap for, but, you know, in the end, you saw they brought in talented people if they were able to make quite a good product out of it. So we'll see where it is next year. I know a lot of people are angry about the the direction of it with Devin just going to the Cowboys, as he has an out route there. So let's react to the gameplay. Maybe more Longshot stuff will come up. Are you guys excited for Longshot next year, or is it kind of just like whatever on your mind, and it's not going to be anything you focus on? You're going to be basically online multiplayer or solo grinding or mutt only. All right, so he's kind of running some crosser routes. This is normally a man coverage beater, that route there. That's like an every coverage beater, I think, from my knowledge of 18, that route. So man coverage seems a little sticky. Even though Clint said they nerfed it, it still looks like it's pretty nice. Gun tight flex, that's in quite a few formations. I wonder if they're giving it to more teams this year, if they're giving it in the Philly book. I don't know if that was in the Philly book this past year. I'm not too familiar with the Philly book, but this looks like it should be a bunch of man beaters, zone beaters. These crossing routes tend to get too deep for cloud flats. So man coverage, man, that man coverage is sticking pretty quickly, and we just get an over there. Who did that? Was that Wentz? Who threw that so badly? So that's a terrible throw. Really unfortunate. It didn't look like he was under pressure. I think it just said bullet pass. So yeah, Wentz. I know a lot of people say this. So this is like a 3-week-old build. They don't have the full the actual player models in yet, except for like the legends. So a lot of these guys look blocky. I know there's a lot of talk about that. Little offsides. This is sim mode. So on Balanced, we learned from the blog, or no, from I think it was Lights' video, that guys won't jump on Balanced in competitive mode. You see him trying to get a lot of offsides calls, and that one actually ended up going against him. His offensive lineman jumped. So it's, fairly interesting gameplay. I know a lot of people have some thoughts about 19 and the trash. Like, a lot of people in this video could be like, oh, this is trash, same stuff like as last year. But there's plenty to look at and see that are changes from last year. Like, it's easy to say this is just a roster update and stuff, but it clearly looks like there's some key differences here. Between like the way the guys handle on the field. I've heard some feedback from EA Play that, if you're holding right trigger and you try to execute a move like a juke, a spin, anything, you're gonna have a bad day. Basically, you're gonna get wrecked. But if you let off the trigger, then you do it, and I think that goes along with their new one-cut system and the real player motion. They try to make it so you can't just hold right trigger the whole time. So you're gonna have to really master making moves in the open field off the right trigger. Luckily, I've been pretty decent in 18. I hope you guys have too. Holding off the right trigger and being able to get through the hole before getting to the open field and hitting it. But there's like a nice little pass rush getting home. The pass rush in 18 has been so derided. Like, we don't like the pass rush because of how long it gets home. It's kind of like to make up for the zone coverage and how tight it is with 91 zone. He's trying to do a little hover on the edge there to get home. Nice little dot between as we're trying. Was that Hogan trying to stick out a stiff arm, and he still got absolutely leveled? So are you guys liking the new tackle animations? I, for one, am. It looks pretty neat. It looks like once guys hit the open field, though, on some of these plays, you have a hard time catching them. I don't know if that's something you guys saw. Like, maybe there's not as much suction, or maybe not, but that's a nice little hit stick. That's a nice little animation. Seems like they talked a lot about momentum and stuff, but it seemed like the wide receiver's going had a lot more momentum there than the middle linebacker, but then that's potential weight difference, too. A middle linebacker at 250 is going to tackle a 200-pound wide receiver, although it's not going to be the easiest if one's sprinting and one's standing still. Another offsides, again, sim mode, so you can't really be too mad about it, I guess would be the word for it. All right, let's keep it rolling. The play calls. Do we notice anything different on the play call screen? Still the 3-4 odd running. Looks like a cover 3-ish. Yeah, we got some vortex out there from the defensive lineman kind of sitting between on the guards, on the tackle's inside shoulder. Now, that's something interesting. So that's something they mentioned in the blog. You are able to, run more plays with guys offsides this year than last year. So, like, basically, how Aaron Rodgers, snaps the ball as guys are running off the field, but you could do that with guys offsides. You snap the ball as the guys offside, and then you'll get a free play, essentially. So it's a nice little system. It's not something that revolutionary. I think you could do this past year, but I'm trying to remember certain instances of me getting a free playoff without it being the user being offsides. Like, I'm able to do it with the user offsides, but with the CPU, because the CPU jumps, and this year in 18, the offensive lineman jumped right away too. So I might just get those free plays with the user. So this year it's more CPU, but again, if you have it on balance, you won't be jumping offsides at the CPU anyways. So I guess don't put your pass rush on aggressive unless you can catch them once or twice, or they're not fake hiking you. Ball carrier moves. Now, there's a lot of feedback, and it's because a lot of guys went against like all 99s, like 99s across the board against 99s across the board. But they said running was very tough to get positive yards. Like, getting an average of 4 yards a carry was a pretty big deal. Talking about zones reacting super well. Now, that's something we learned about in the blog. Your zones only have a % chance. The higher they get, the higher % chance they have of instantly reacting to that ball. Like, that right there just like snatched the life out of that quarterback. Where last year, something like that, it'd be like kind of tipped and sent to the ground, but that was an easy catch. 3 seconds left in the first half. New England looks like they're going to take the 17-0 lead. Is this the computer that took the lead? Woo! That ain't good, Osiris. I think it's computer versus person, but I can't see. Yeah, because I think the Eagles are the human, and New England is the computer. Yeah, kind of looks like that. So, computer is wrecking them. The high legs, a lot of people have commented on. They don't like the running style of these guys. I don't know if that's something they're going to change. Like, that seems, I don't know if they're going to touch that too much. Obviously they put in that one video, and I did a breakdown of it, of the different players running different styles. So maybe that's just a style, the high legs. Because, the high leg thing is totally a track. And basically, football players are track athletes out there right now with how fast they go and the sprinting coaching that they get before the combine and stuff. I'm just making shit up. It doesn't look too natural, but maybe I'm just making excuses for them right now. So it is interesting though on YouTube. I get between the different videos I do, I get either I'm an EA dick rider or I'm just a hater on the whole game. I think that's how I know I'm doing. Actually, that was a good catching in the open field. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I saw the wrong play before. So it's a pretty easy catch from behind there. So I think that's how I know I'm doing pretty well, is people are accusing me of both sides, between being both a dick rider and a fanboy. Nice little cutback there, Mr. James White. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. That was pretty nice. So he's testing out the open field moves, it looks like. Or is that the CPU testing that out? Why would the CPU make those moves? Like that seems like something that like a computer, a human would try and would style on them like that. But whatever. They did. Carlos Guerrero talked about chaining moves together more this year, and how important that will be. I think that was I forgot which interview that is. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Return middle, return right. They got the new rules in. You have to be in like that 10-yard zone, I think. It's not the restricted area, but I forgot what they called it. But so they got the new kickoff rules. That's kind of neat. It's to reduce collisions on kickoff. I wonder if that'll make kickoff returns worse or better or what for Madden 18. I wonder if they're, I guarantee there's going to be some sort of scum kick that comes out. Might be able to like recover like squib kicks or something a little bit better now. I'm sure Belichick will try something, but we'll see if we can exploit it in Madden. There's a little swing pattern to the flats. Looks like it was reacted pretty well. We got 2nd and 7, so we got a 3-yard gains with swing pattern. Nothing extraordinary there. Out of the iForm Pro trying to make the moves down the field. Let's see what this blast gives us. Not bad. The handoff's a little slower than I'd like to see. That's a big thing in Madden is the importance of the run, or how good it is, and how fast the handoff is, how fast that ball carrier gets it to not allow the shed. So that was a nice little. Ajay kind of like trucked him a little bit and ran him over quite frequently. Like if it was blunt, it would make more sense. But yeah, Ajay's also got some good power moves there. All right, handoff. Oh, wow. Okay. So I wonder if that's just the fact that it's regs and maybe these guys aren't the all 99 squads. Maybe it's just regular rated Eagles in New England. But man, that really should have. Maybe that was a play ball aggressive type move where the computer went for the interception, missed it, but that should have been more of a interaction. I know Osiris mentioned there's some like funky DB plays, and sometimes on users, the Y button wouldn't work. So the receivers seem to catch a lot more in 19 than they did in 18. I know that was a big complaint by a large portion of the community is how wide receivers in 18 dropped everything. Now, I've noticed since I've gotten a lot of, high-end 90s catching traffic guys, it doesn't happen as much. It still happens fairly frequently if you throw in traffic, but maybe not as much as it was in 17 or when you had lower catching traffic guys. But we'll see what 19 has. I wonder if it'll go back to like 16 with how well they caught it. Oh, a little spec catch, but knocked down. I also heard spec catching. There was some face catching that we saw, and spec catching might be a little OP, but we'll probably try and find a defense. All this catching stuff that I heard, I'm sure somebody will find an exploit for it fairly early, and then we'll have to get them to patch it out of the game. So, all right, here we are. 5 routes out on the field, and the blitz comes home. He sent 6 on the blitz, so there ain't nothing you to do. That's why I like to block my running back every play. I heard there was not too much nano detection. Not that I personally am fine with nano detection. I know a lot of people hate it because they think nano detection eliminates a skill gap, but I'm just like, ugh. Blitzes, people just look on YouTube for blitzes anyways. There's no skill gap in learning and knowing blitzes. Like that's just you set it up one way, then you set it up again and again. I don't think knowing a certain defensive play is a skill gap. I think skill gap comes from adjusting your defense to what the offense is doing. So if you can sit in one nano the whole game, I think that's the exact opposite of skill gap. So I'm perfectly fine with getting rid of nanos in this game because I do think they break the experience. All right, Burkhead, God, it kind of looks like he's running in quicksand there. That is totally like the feeling of like Canadian Football League 2016, 2017. I forgot what it's called last year. Like they're just kind of like up and down, like old school, like old 2 Madden before they knew how to program for the new generation. I don't know. But the ball carrier moves, like that looks like a very realistic struggle for the first down. It just seems like the open field running, I think a lot of people are turned off by. And of course the blocky models, like we're playing NFL Blitz or something. So the 2-4-5 double A gap, I think it's an underrated formation in 19, especially if you do a lot of mid blitz and you got high end corners. The CPU is still trying to get the user off the offsides. Again, open field running with that running back. He moves so slow. Maybe it's because he wasn't holding the right trigger or something, but he just kind of looked like he was jogging through the hole. I really hope that's something to look at before. But most of the talk I had from EA Play I heard, like last year, I haven't heard too much about zones this year and how well they break. A lot about the running game felt a little off, but the zones were okay. Sorry, I got a drink. So the ball carrier moves look super sick. Like them adding them in there, but again, they said the run game was really tough to focus on or really hit hard. So I'm fine with a pass-first type of Madden. I think passing includes more skill than just running. Because with running, all you really need to do is find the gap and go forward. Go forth and dominate. Whereas passing, you need to make the right reads and stuff. So the tackling looks nice. The running in the open field with the ball carrier, yeah, I think I'm going to hit that again. It's just kind of... It feels a little off. It's like in that uncanny valley. You know what I mean? Like, if you guys know what the uncanny valley is, it's essentially the, as you get more and more real life looking, there hits like a valley where it like kind of just looks further and further away from the actual game. It's kind of uncanny. But yeah, that right there, that Gronk look, that ain't right. The ref, let's see his reaction. All right, I think that's the end of the video. Wow, we talked for that long. All right, let me know what you guys thought about the gameplay. The cam. Check out Osiris' channel. I saw he commented on the video last time. So good job. Good way to get footage out for the masses. Hopefully we'll see more official footage from EA and Game Changers soon. All right, thanks for watching Call to Action. I'll see you tomorrow.